It's the Riot Podcast. This is the Thursday, June 8th edition. And I got a question for you, Isaiah, here. We had a survey that says 50% of people wait for somebody else to clean up the mess, even if they see it. So here's a question. If you had a date coming over, so she's a surprise. She's doing a stop by, but she gave you a little heads up. You have like 10 minutes to clean. Your entire house is destroyed. What's the one spot you're like, I got to clean this up first?
Oh, that's so tough. If my entire house is destroyed.
Yeah, there's just nothing is a lot cleaner than the other.
I probably would clean. Am I cleaning a room or like a certain thing?
Just whatever you can do in 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes, I'm doing my room.
Your personal room.
My personal room.
Is that because you're assuming
I'm escorting her straight to my room.
Okay.
I'm going to say, I'm sorry about the mess out here. I would blame it on my roommate.
Oh, you do have a roommate you can use that for.
I would blame it on my roommate. I would say he's disgusting. I can't stand him, even though I love him. I can't stand him. I want him out of here, but he's a mess. Come into my bedroom and clean in here. And then I would be like, I keep this place spotless. I always have everything real clean in here. That would be what I would try to do.
I'm trying to think for me. Some of the things that jump to mind, some of the options would be you might need to vacuum. Vacuum might be real important. If you got you've got a dog, so that can get real nasty.
But you won't notice the floor. I feel like the floor isn't going to be as noticeable.
Unless it's a bunch of crumbs.
I'm thinking like if I'm cleaning my room, I'm just picking up laundry off the floor. That's what I assume they probably throw laundry on my floor if they were trying to dirty up my room. I'm just picking the laundry up on my floor, and if my bed's not made, that's fine. If my floor is clean, like there's nothing on the ground, there's just nothing on the ground, that's okay. If my cabinets and stuff are a mess, as long as there's nothing on the ground, and then there's sheets on my bed, I'm good.
Dirty laundry can be that would be a real embarrassing one to have lying around. Even clean laundry kind of does make you, if you have like baskets, it kind of makes you look a little.
That's me. That's my bedroom right now.
Out of sorts.
I hate it.
But there's two other options to me. Bathroom.
The bathroom is a big one.
You don't want to have an embarrassing bathroom with toothpaste stuck to the counter.
I'm not letting her pee. I'm just not.
Hair everywhere.
No
dirty
water.
Toilet. So the bathroom is probably the obvious choice. Kitchen is also a big one though. If you're just piles of dirty dishes. But I feel like
gross. The kitchen and the bathroom are so gross.
A lot of people would excuse the dirty dishes though, so I think bathroom is the way I would go for sure. I don't want to get caught with a dirty bathroom. That's embarrassing.
Your bedroom can only be so dirty. Like, and if your bedroom's dirty, it probably isn't gross. It just is unclean. Like, it's just a mess in there.
It might be difficult to walk, but it's not gross.
But like the bathroom and the kitchen, that has the highest ceiling of could be the grossest. Like if your bathroom is gross, yet again, I wouldn't let her go in there.
Yeah,
there's no way.
For the kitchen, you could have like a cup of not quite finished milk or something. I don't even want to
talk about it. It's so gross.
Spaghetti sauce stained on something.
Enough.
Yeah. All right. Well, just a reminder to clean up today. Don't be one of the 50% of people that waits for somebody else to do it. Do it yourself.
Invite some friends over. It'll force you to clean up. Invite guests over for this weekend, and you'll clean your whole house. It's crazy. If you never have guests over, your house can be a mess because you will live in your own filth. But if you have guests over, you for sure are going to clean up the house.
You know what's the best feeling is when you're about to have somebody over and you spent the whole time cleaning, and then
you look around.
5 minutes before the guests arrive, it's finally clean up where you can just sit back and put your feet up in the clean house.
You light that candle and you welcome them on in.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great feeling. You can have that feeling without anybody coming over.
But you won't do it, though. Yeah, nobody's that motivated.
Yeah, that's right. So there's an idea for you for today. Plan a weekend get-together where you're the host, and all of a sudden your house will be so clean.
It'll be spotless. You'll be shocked.
It may be even more dirty after the get-together, depending on your friends.
But then you can live in that.
Coming up in the show today, we do Choice Champions with the grossest foods. We have wildly different tactics that we take on that one. We also talk about the most ridiculous stuff you would buy if you were rich. And we talk about Messi joining the MLS and how much we care.
That's the show.
We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, RadioU.
One of the big sports stories from yesterday is that the Madden 24 cover athlete has been revealed. It was rumored leading up to it that it would be, and now it is confirmed. Josh Allen, quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, is going to be on Madden 24.
Meh.
Are you saying meh about the news or meh about the choice?
The choice.
He doesn't think he's
So I don't think he's good. I think he's great.
okay.
I just don't know if he deserves it.
How do you decide who deserves the Madden cover?
Well, the last couple have like accomplished something. He didn't accomplish
Who
anything.
are the last couple?
I'll go through the last
I can't
one.
even think of them.
Before this, well, last year's was John Madden.
Well,
To
of
honor,
course.
honor him. And then the year before that, Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. Which makes
Together.
sense
Yeah.
because they both played in the Super Bowl.
That's right.
The year before that, Lamar, MVP season. MVP season.
Yeah.
Come on. And then the year before that, Patrick Mahomes again. That was the year he won his first Super Bowl.
Yeah. Okay.
The year before that, Antonio Brown. Controversial.
They'd like you to forget that year, I think.
Then we had Tom Brady, Gronk, Odell.
I mean, not everybody's accomplished something. You can't have a Super Bowl winner on every time, can you?
But I would say the Josh Allen cover, I mean, it was going to happen at some point because I mean, he's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was the year because they kind of ended the season in turmoil.
They did a little bit.
They got like kind of bounced from the playoffs. I feel like his year could have waited to where, I mean, he's bound to win an MVP. He's bound to go to the Super Bowl. He's bound to be the best quarterback in the league at some point, maybe, depending on how long Patrick Mahomes plays. But at the same time, he deserves it, but I feel like he could have won somebody else. Somebody cooler.
So who did you want?
Oh, I'm Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
I don't know. I just felt like Josh Allen makes sense because they're not going to give it to Mahomes a third time in like 3 or 4 years.
That's enough of him. We're done with him.
But if I had to pick some other choices, who I thought it was going to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
And this person hasn't done anything more than Josh Allen did this year. I thought it was going to be Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow would have been a great choice.
Just because of all the hype. Like, he is the NFL football lover boy. Like, everybody loves him right now.
Yeah.
And so I really thought it was going to be him. I also thought Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings after another fantastic season for him.
Some people were upset it wasn't him.
That was another one.
I think with the Madden cover, because it was so hard to even recollect who had previously been on it recently. I think it used to be a bigger deal than now because, I mean, think about it. People don't even, back in the day, it was a huge deal because you'd actually buy Madden and you'd have it on a shelf somewhere. And so you cared what it looked like. Now the cover, it's just a little tab in your
online
Xbox.
library.
Yeah, right. So who even cares? But I do think, though, the Madden cover athlete, that's about, you're trying to get somebody that's at like the apex of their popularity, the top tier of their popularity, like that you expect them to get to throughout their career. An exciting player. That's where Josh Allen is right now.
He is.
He may, and some people hate to hear this, this may be as good as it gets for him. He might win an MVP. He might not, because there's a lot of other great quarterbacks that are around his same age and even younger. The Bills may have experienced the best success that they'll experience for a long time. They may, as they start to have to pay him and whatever, they might have to be on the downslope so this might be the year that they just needed to do it, or it might never have happened for him.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great season last year, but yet again, it ended kind of in question marks for how the Buffalo Bills are going to be this season. And another person that I thought it wouldn't have made sense, but it would have been really cool if they put him on the cover, in my opinion, before the season even started.
Yeah.
Would have been, and I don't usually give this man any praise, but it would have been Aaron Rodgers.
It would have been a great choice.
If they threw him on there in a Jets jersey, and that's why they're putting Josh Allen on there, is because they're like, well, Aaron Rodgers is division now. Will he even make the playoffs?
Exactly. I'm glad.
Put him on there now.
I'm glad that I don't even have to say that.
There you go.
Yeah,
it's a non-biased take.
Yeah, and it's the truth.
It is the truth.
All right. Well, congratulations to Josh Allen, though. I just, for his sake, hope it's not the best.
Will the Madden curse get him?
Yeah. Well, it hasn't seemed to get some of the previous guys, has it?
Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady are pretty unstoppable.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
I've got a bride here, a bridezilla perhaps. That's for you to decide. This is on a subreddit that I'm just learning about, but sounds like I could spend a lot of time on. Wedding shaming.
Oh, we love wedding shaming.
Yeah. I think we could do a deep dive into wedding shaming on subreddit on Reddit and have a good time. In this case, this bride had posted in her like wedding focused, like the group Facebook or whatever, and was basically asking, am I okay to be upset with one of my bridesmaids for getting pregnant when I specifically asked her not to until after the wedding?
Wait a minute. She specifically asked her not to? What a wild request.
She says from the very beginning, she asked her girls if it was okay for them to wait to have any babies until after the wedding.
Why?
She says this is her quote. Ready? I just wanted no stress on dealing with if dresses fit correctly and whatnot.
Ooh, that's a wild thing to say.
And then apparently, not only it's not bad enough that this gal became pregnant, this bridesmaid became pregnant, but the bride also feels that she hid it from her for some time.
Well, it sounds like she should.
Yeah,
I would too. I'd be afraid. I'd be like, oh goodness. Hopefully, I just don't like. Maybe she was hoping she wouldn't like show by that point or something.
Of course, yeah.
Because obviously, her friend is going to be pissed. Like she's going to be so mad. So yeah, I would hide it from her too. I wouldn't have said a thing and just hope that I can just keep it thin, you know, fit in the dress. I can fit in the dress. I swear.
Yeah,
I swear I'll squeeze into this thing. I don't need a new one. This is good. I'll wear this. Sounds like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to the bride, she does say she's happy for her and all, but she didn't want this. She didn't want to have this adding one more thing for her to worry about with such a big day coming up. And she specifically asked them all to wait.
Yeah, that's a wild thing to ask.
It's a crazy.
That's a crazy
request.
ask. And two, there's like it's not her problem if it doesn't fit. That's on the bridesmaid. She'll figure it out.
Yeah, but
you don't have to hold
you
her
know
hand.
how it is, right? You got to pick, like for the bridesmaid dresses, you got to pick something that everybody looks good in, even in the different sizes
but you
and
can
shapes
get it
that you might
altered
need.
and stuff. Like
So it might not be flattering.
What are you talking about flattering? Yet again, that's for the bridesmaid to worry about, not the bride.
I don't know. I'm not far.
Are you defending?
No,
Are you defending?
I'm definitely not defending.
Seems like you're defending.
I just understand. I understand why it would be something that crosses your mind, but it's such a ridiculous concern compared to your friend having a baby. It's great news.
You'd think you'd be pumped.
At least she's not complaining, because I thought when I first saw this, I was like, oh, she just doesn't want because
the attention.
You got a pregnant woman, one of your bridesmaids. She's going to command a lot of attention.
That's what I thought too.
In the pictures, and then at the reception, everything. Everybody's going to be talking to her. So, but at least that's not the case. She just wants the dress to fit, is all.
Well, that's not as big of a deal.
Yeah, but nevertheless, I mean, imagine the roles reversed. Can you postpone your wedding until? Can you just hold off on having a wedding until after we have the baby, and then maybe like actually also 3 months after that as well, because we can't come when we got to take it. You imagine trying to childcare,
and I want to slim down too.
Unless you want the baby at your wedding, I can bring that. Yeah.
Sounds like a big ask for me. Not so much of a fan of that.
Yeah. So much stress at weddings. Just, you don't need to stress about this. Just let her have the baby.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
The beautiful game is experiencing a little change. Lionel Messi. Is that how you say it? Lionel? It's Lionel, isn't it?
I can't decide.
Lionel Messi.
Let me get on that.
If I just say Messi, everybody knows. Even if you don't know soccer, you know who Messi is. And he has announced that he is going to be joining the MLS, Major League Soccer, in the United States of America. He'll be joining a team called Inter Miami.
I love it.
First question. Were you aware of Inter Miami before yesterday?
No.
Neither was I.
I was not aware of Inter Miami.
What is
I would say it a different name.
What does Inter even mean?
Why are the MLS teams named the way they are? You know, like why do they have all these weird names? Like the newest
team. Because that's how
team,
soccer does it.
The newest team, FC Cincinnati.
Uh-huh. Well, that's Football
lame.
Club Cincinnati.
Yeah, but like, remember when the Washington Commanders were the Washington football team?
Yeah.
Everybody was so upset. They were like, that's the dumbest name of all time. And every MLS team just about is named whatever soccer club
the equivalent
of Atlanta, like whatever it is, you know? There's very few that have like real names.
I mean, even FC Cincinnati, I know what it means. I don't know what Inter Miami even means.
Oh, it's the Inter.
Inter
Miami.
what? Inter what?
It's Inter Miami.
Does that mean international? Maybe.
Or it could be like the middle.
I don't know.
It is Lionel, if you're wondering, by the way.
Lionel. Okay, good.
At least that's what they have online.
Glad we could clear that up. You know what? Maybe it's not Inter Miami's problem though. It's our problem. We're the ones that are ignorant, that don't know what's going on with soccer. And
they're not on TV. I can't even watch them if I wanted to.
Where is it? Where do you watch these games?
I have no idea. I don't see them advertised either.
Maybe that's our problem. It's not soccer's problem. Soccer's the biggest game in the world.
Yeah, over in Europe.
So we're the fools.
No, we're not. We're not the fools. They don't advertise it. When have you ever seen any sort of MLS player advertised?
Not MLS.
Are they on a commercial? If you're not on a commercial, I don't know who you are.
Yeah. No, I couldn't
even name one.
I've seen ads for the English Premier League.
If you know an MLS player and you know his name, text it in. Here's the test.
Well, Lionel Messi.
Well, we can't count him. That's different.
But yet again, it's not their fault. It's not the MLS's fault. It's our fault.
I think it's ours. I think it's theirs.
We aren't paying enough attention.
I guess not.
We find it in ourselves to be able to keep up with all these other sports, and American soccer, we can't do it.
They're just so widely available.
That's us.
Like if I want to see the finals, it's easy. It's easy money. I just turn on my TV. First channel. There she is. I can't even avoid it if I wanted to. I have to search for hours to find this.
Well, let me tell you, if you didn't know, you might think it's curious that Messi, the best soccer player in the world, one of the best of all time, coming to the MLS. Even if you're not a soccer fan, you probably understand the MLS is not as big time. It's way, way down the list of leagues. How can they afford him? Especially when there was a Saudi league in Saudi Arabia that was willing to pay him. Basically, I think we found he was going to get more in 1 year than he will get through the entire life of his contract here in the United States.
Yeah, it was like $400 million.
But his wife doesn't want to live there.
Makes sense. Fair enough.
Yeah, understandably so. So she preferred Miami, I guess, as if those were the only two options.
Well, he could have went back to Barcelona.
Yeah.
But he said that he heard from like the management there that if he returned because of how much his salary would be, then players on the team would have to take salary cuts and other people on the team would get cut, and he didn't want to be a part of that. He didn't want to be the reason that people were losing their jobs.
I wonder if in the MLS the salaries are already cut.
Exactly. They're like, you can just join, dude.
Yeah, they can't go down any further.
And they aren't like, these guys aren't his buddies either. So he's like, if these losers get cut, they probably deserve to get cut. His buddies on FC Barcelona, he was like, well, I don't want to make my friends get cut from the team.
This is their livelihood.
Yeah, from the Miami players, he's like, whatever.
They can just
fine.
Sell groceries or whatever. There's real soccer really got to be so upset right now.
Oh, so mad.
Yeah. Sorry. I wish I was into it. Again, I take the blame. It's me. I'm the problem.
Maybe I'll watch now.
You're not going to watch?
I will if he's on TV. If you put it on TV, I'll watch it.
It looks like you'll have a documentary on Apple TV Plus. You going to watch that?
I don't have Apple TV Plus. Put it on YouTube TV and I'll watch it. There you go.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
This is Choice Champions on the Riot. Isaiah and I, we will go ahead and pick. We're doing a draft. How did we do this last time? Snake draft?
Yeah, we snaked it.
Snaked it. And who picked first last time?
You did.
So you pick first this time.
I pick first.
You pick first.
Exciting.
We each get 3 picks. We're picking a team of grossest foods. And then you vote at 8772 Radio U and tell us who picked the grosser set of foods. And these are foods like this is our personal choices on these. And it has to be a food you've actually eaten.
Yes.
You can't go unless you've had fermented shark from Iceland. You can't pick that.
So don't text in like wild things.
Yeah.
That are just crazy that you're going to text in. I don't know what the word is. I can't even read it because it's in Russian or something. Like, those don't count. We're talking about everyday foods. When I say these things, you guys are going to all know what they are.
All right. Pick one. Goes to Isaiah. The number 1 seed in the gross food draft is...
At number 1 overall, I'm taking Spam.
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 Really? Out of all the foods?
Out of all the foods, I'm taking Spam.
Interesting.
Not
Interesting.
I don't mess with Spam.
we'll
I'm
see.
taking Spam at number 1.
We'll see what the voting public thinks of that. My number 1 pick, I get the 2 and 3, right?
Yep.
I'm going coleslaw.
Coleslaw. Controversial. Controversial.
And then for the number 3 pick, I will take black licorice.
Black licorice.
Yeah.
What a wild choice. I didn't even consider.
Is that wild?
I didn't even consider black licorice. No, it's just an interesting choice that you went candy.
Mm-hmm. I've got another candy that I'm not going to pick, but it will be in my honorable mentions in a moment. Well, what was you get 4 and 5 now?
Okay, so my next pick, I'm going mustard.
You're crazy.
I'm going mustard.
Mustard, you're not going to win.
Mustard is one of the grossest things I've ever seen. If I gave you a little tin full of mustard, you're not eating that. You'd rather eat the things you just named. You'd rather eat
There's
black
no
licorice
chance.
than taking a spoonful of mustard. 100%.
That's crazy. I've eaten mustard on chocolate, not because I wanted to. It was for a game, but I ate it. I had no problem with it.
Mustard, the consistency, the look, and just the overall flavor. I'm taking mustard.
You can't have honey mustard without mustard, and everybody loves honey mustard.
Well, whoa. I didn't say honey mustard. I said mustard.
Yeah, but if mustard can be a part of something so universally popular, how can it be on the grossest food list?
It's completely different. It's a completely different thing. Honey mustard's completely different. Separate that, everybody.
I just feel real good about my. If you haven't finished your team, I feel real good about winning this.
That's fine. My final one. Kraft singles.
The cheese.
The cheese singles. That's my final one.
Are you trying to lose? Are you tanking in the gross food?
No, I'm not tanking. That's a gross food. No one is eating the little Kraft singles.
There's somebody on listening right now who's thinking, I would make a sandwich of Spam, mustard, and Kraft single, and I'd be a happy child.
Nope, not for me. This is my list.
It's
my
your
list. It's my list.
Your list. You could have picked anything.
I could have picked anything.
And that's what you picked. You're not going to win. I still get one more pick. I could pick anything. I could pick cheeseburgers. I'd win because you
picked coleslaw, which is universally pretty much loved.
No, people hate coleslaw. And the other thing I'm going to go with is coconut. I hate coconut.
Coconut.
I'm thinking the top 3 things that I've had that at first.
You had like my picks are so wild. Yours are more like than mine are. That's what's wild.
That's not true.
Coleslaw. There are people that are going to text in that love coleslaw. There are people that are going to text in that love coconut. And for me, nobody likes Spam.
You picked 2 things that come standard on a McDonald's cheeseburger.
Yeah, but I'm talking about alone, Hudson. Mustard. Alone. Right.
Text in
single,
whose team.
Alone.
Let's recap. You have Spam, mustard, and
Kraft singles.
Kraft singles is your team of gross foods. Mine is coconut, black licorice, and coleslaw. Which team is grosser? 8772 Radio U. We'll see what the people say next, although I think I already know.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
We're doing Choice Champions. Today is the list, the teams of the grossest foods. It was way unexpected. The team that I'm seeing from Isaiah. So we each picked 3 of the grossest foods we have ever tried. Isaiah, your team is
Kraft singles, mustard, and Spam.
Kraft singles, mustard, and Spam. My team is coleslaw, black licorice, and coconut. And so it's up to you to vote at 8772 Radio U. Which team is the grosser list, not combo? I think we had some people texting in saying, well, if you mixed all 3 together, I can't even imagine what it tastes like. But that's not what we're doing. It's just each 3 individually, but then together as a team.
Yes.
So how is the votes looking?
It's a little bit across. I can't tell what's going on here. There's a lot of votes coming in. People agreeing with us, disagreeing with us. People like a lot of the foods we've said.
I did see your dad. That's your dad, right?
Yeah, he voted for you.
He voted for me.
Because you put coconut on there, which is the ultimate trump card. That's like the one thing I've always known he doesn't like.
That's what I was trying to... with my list, I was thinking of the things that would make me gag, personally. You ever gag when you eat?
Yeah, I gag all the time.
Yeah, I would. These foods would make me gag if I had to eat them again.
Same, yeah.
And so I was trying to think of at least one of my foods would make people just throw up. Your foods, although I think what you did might have been smart, is you picked a bunch of foods that is nobody's favorite. Nobody loves Kraft singles.
But the people that don't like them don't like them.
Yeah, but there are some people that love coconut, so they make it harder for them to vote for my list. So that's why I think you're getting some votes.
Yeah, I've gotten some votes in here. Jessica's saying Hudson, the obvious winner. We had Jay come in. He said, you're both nuts. The only gross thing on each roster is Spam and black licorice. So those two head-to-head. He's going to go with Hudson.
Yes.
We had Dee get in, and she thinks probably Hudson because of the coleslaw and licorice. Sarah said, I agree, only because of the black licorice as well.
I like what Jessica said. She says, Hudson list has two of the foods I refuse to eat, whereas Isaiah's I just prefer not to eat. So Hudson wins.
Jeremy says, Hudson all the way on this one. Isaiah just made me hungry. Then we had Nathan. I actually like everything on Hudson's list and would eat it all. The craft singles are truly the winner for grossest.
That's
Susanna
so
said, you basically both did lists of my favorite foods except for craft singles, so I'm with Isaiah on this one.
Why do people hate craft singles so much?
I knew people hated craft singles. I knew people did. Two people texted in and specifically said craft singles. Sorry, Hudson, I have to go with Isaiah. This is Chad. All three of your choices are things I like. Chris says Team Hudson. And then Carl also said you both have 2 out of 3 correct answers. Both coconut and mustard are delicious.
I didn't come into this thinking that everyone's going to agree with everything on my list. I just thought,
of course.
Surely the majority of the things on my list would be more disliked than liked. What about some of the things we've got people texting in stuff we left off the list?
Yeah.
I saw Phyllis say, I can't believe neither of us that we have liver on our list. Have you ever had liver?
I've never had liver, so I couldn't add it to the list.
I'm sure. I know at a time or two, my parents used to buy like whole slaughtered cows and whatever. So we had liver that was made, and my dad liked it, I'm pretty sure. And I'm sure I had to taste it, but it was so long ago, I don't remember.
Somebody else.
I actually try to avoid, this is a shocker to a lot of people, foods that are gross.
Yeah.
Including liver. That seems gross to me.
Yeah.
I also saw Dee, she said boiled peanuts. Menudo, which is soup made with cow's stomach. I also thought another one I've never had, but it just sounds gross to me because I hate cold things. Gazpacho. Yeah, I can't imagine
never
that.
Never had that one either.
I also, one that I don't think I've ever had, but I almost put on the list because I think it counts from just smelling it. Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
That'd have been controversial. Any other good honorable mention ones?
I also thought of circus peanuts, but I wouldn't gag eating those. They're just gross. They're just disgusting.
Yeah, none of the ones that I had left over. Only one of them I would have probably gagged eating. The ones I had left over were sauerkraut.
Yeah, but I thought about that too, but I've had sauerkraut, deep fried sauerkraut, which is fine. Actually pretty good.
And then my final 2, neither one would I gag over, but they are gross foods. One of them being jelly beans.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And the last one,
don't enjoy them.
A crowd favorite to hate on, I had Peeps as well.
Yeah, we would get a lot of, I think you might have won if you put Peeps on your list.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't really even hate Peeps, though. That would have been a fake choice if I threw that one on there, so I couldn't even justify tossing Peeps on the list.
That would not have been authentic.
No.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself. You're
listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Is 6 hours too long for a bathroom break at work? Because
that's a good question.
One man has spent the last 8 years in court dealing with that exact issue, fighting it out with his now former employer who fired him due to the length of his bathroom breaks. Now, maybe at first it may seem like it's an open and shut case. A 6-hour bathroom break at work, how can you expect to be paid for that? That's a fireable offense, you would think,
6 of the 8 hours you were in the bathroom today.
Yeah.
Which is a bad look. It's a bad look.
But let me throw the monkey wrench into the case. Back in 2014, when the incident took place, this employee underwent surgery for an anorectal issue. Anorectal issue.
The wild word, but go on.
Yeah, it's medical. So, he had a surgery that you could see how it may lead to complications involving the bathroom. And once he returned to work after that surgery, he continued experiencing pain and discomfort and started spending between 3 and 6 hours in the bathroom every day. It got, of course, bad enough that his employer at the time started keeping track of it, because normally you wouldn't keep track of how long an employee's in the bathroom. But when everybody's noticing he's disappearing for such lengths of time, they started keeping track of it. And over the course of 10 days, he took a total of 22 bathroom breaks. That's about 2 a day. That feels okay.
Yep.
However, those 22 bathroom breaks lasted between 47 minutes and 6 hours long. 47 was the minimum.
It sounds like there was one that was 47 minutes, and the other one was 6 hours long.
Yeah.
So that would be 6 hours and 47 minutes.
Uh-huh.
He was in the bathroom. A usual shift. Where's this at? This isn't in the U.S.
This is in China.
China. So usual shift's like 8 hours.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how long they work over there. They probably work longer. But that would leave you, let's just say it's 8 hours. That leaves you about an hour and 13 minutes at work.
Unless he's working from the bathroom.
He could be. I mean, did he take his laptop in there? What's this guy's name also? Name?
His name is, well, you're not going to believe this. His name is Wong.
Wong? Wong, okay.
Mr. Wong.
Mr. Wong. So
Yeah.
Mr. Wong in the bathroom for long periods of time. I feel like it's a bad look. Like there's no way that you can keep your job.
No matter what the surgery is. I mean, first of all, you got to have a doctor's note for that, right? For a 47-minute bathroom break.
If it takes you 6 hours to go to the bathroom, I don't know what job that you can have.
I do feel like you should be hospitalized still.
Yes.
For that.
You need to take a break from work, dude. Take a long break from work.
Or colostomy bag.
That's not
is
an
another option. It is an option if you want to keep working.
What are you talking about?
I don't know why they didn't do that.
That's a terrible option.
It's better than getting fired.
I guess so.
I mean, I wouldn't want to come to work with it, but
he needs to work from home. Because he can work
right.
from the bathroom at home.
Yeah, but I don't think in 2014 when this initially happened, I don't think that was quite such an option.
You're right.
But yeah, the last 8 years, he finally, you want to know the actual verdict of the case there is unsurprisingly, I guess, the judge went ahead and ruled that it was unreasonable, no matter what his what his condition is, unreasonable lengths of time he's spending in the bathroom while he should be working. And so they don't have to compensate him.
Think he was sleeping?
I don't know.
6 hours? Come on.
I mean,
sleeping.
It does tie into a surgery he had, so in some sense, I do feel bad. Like, it had to be something. I don't think he was just doing it for fun.
Like, we've all taken...
But also, it's a little unreasonable.
We've all had one of those days where we were real tired, and we went to the bathroom, and we just sat down there, and we closed our eyes for a little bit. Like, we've all done that. I've never done it for 6 hours.
No.
But I've done it for a good 7 minutes. So 7 and 10 minutes, and then...
That adds up.
To work.
It adds up.
You're like, that does make sense.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on RadioU.
I have a company here that went through and analyzed all of the CEOs of the world's 1,000 largest companies, the 1,000 largest companies in the world. They took all the CEO names, trying to figure out which name is most likely to make you successful. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. But now that I'm looking at this, this is really dumb.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's dumb?
Well, because as I'm looking at these names, right?
Yeah.
Like, these are not most likely names to make you CEO, Hudson.
You don't think so?
These are just the most common names.
I don't know.
Of the most people. That's what it is. Of course, these are the names that the most CEOs have, because these are the most common names of people. So obviously, there's more of them, therefore more CEOs. These names could be used in any job almost, and they would be the most...
So if we just looked at the most common name of
doctors, they would be these same names.
Well, doctors are success. I consider that successful.
We could do anything. We could do grocery baggers. It would be these same names.
All right, fine. Grocery baggers, maybe not as necessarily
nothing wrong with that.
Successful.
I kind of miss them. They're not anywhere anymore. I miss grocery baggers.
You're right. And the ones that are there, they don't always know what they're doing.
No, they don't.
They'll put like your aluminum foil with your dog food with your motor oil. Which actually that wouldn't be the worst Okay. Well, listen to this.
Let's name them though.
The most popular CEO name is David.
You know some Davids?
34 of the of 34 CEOs of the world's 1,000 largest companies named David. That means even if your name is David, the odds are stacked against you.
It is.
You've
There's
got
only 34 of them.
like, what is that? 0.3% of all CEOs are named David. It's not that good.
And think of how many Davids there are out there.
Yeah, there's a
Is
lot.
it going to
of
be you? Probably not.
Michael was number 2. John, number 3. You're right. Well, okay, so is it more? What about this though? Is it notable that you might notice a trend if I continued down through the list? They're all man's names.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
There's a list of women's ones too. I see it.
Yeah, and you see the quantity of how many.
Well, that's messed up.
The most common
That's
women's
wrong.
name to be CEO of one of the world's 1,000 largest companies, Sarah. There's 3 Sarah CEOs.
You know what? This is wild because until I've seen this list here, this is really crazy about the whole like men's versus women thing. When they talk about how it's not fair.
This is fair.
Wild.
This is the
This
most.
is I've never quite seen it in a graph like this.
According to this, listen to this. Out of the 1,000 CEOs of the world's 1,000 largest companies, 936 were men.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
And I'll say it. I'll take a stand. That's crazy.
That's wrong.
Because I think about this is what's wild.
Uh-huh.
This is wild. I think about all the women I know, and I mean, yet again, I had fully admit the majority of women that I meet and people, but women as well, are more intelligent than I am.
Yeah.
So when you say 936 out of 1,000, that's crazy. Come on.
Yeah.
There's 34 Davids, and he makes up almost. I mean, yet again, there's only like 73 women that are CEOs between
There's
Davids and Michaels. That's about as
many women CEOs as there are in the world's
David
1,000
and Michael
largest companies.
CEOs. That's crazy.
all right.
Sarah's number 1, though. Yet again, a very common name.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 2, Barbara. A little old-fashioned, but still
Yeah.
pretty common.
I've got this then. I'll say 2 things on this. 1, I'll make a pledge. If I'm ever up to be a
You won't
CEO
be.
of one of the world's 1,000 largest companies, I will turn
Empty
it down.
pledge.
I will turn it down so that women can have it. And then 2, can we rule out the idea that maybe they're the 1,000 largest companies because they have men as CEOs?
We got to rule that out.
Can we?
That's crazy.
The proof is in the pudding. 936 out of 1,000. The numbers
That's
don't
crazy.
lie. The numbers don't lie.
How is there not more women that are CEOs? You know what? And you know what? It's not on me. I've never got to appoint anybody as CEO, so I would appoint a woman.
No, I wash both of our hands of this.
This is not our fault.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
This is cool. In LA, there is a new immersive experience that you could pay for. You could go do. They're calling it Fork and Film. And you may be able to guess by the name of the establishment, the experience, what it is you go, you watch a movie, and they serve you a menu of food from the movie.
What they're eating in there?
Yeah, what they eat in the movie, they cook and make that for you, and that's your dinner for the movie. So it's a dinner and a movie all in one. First of all, does that sound intriguing to you? Would you try that?
It does sound kind of intriguing.
Yeah.
I could see that being a cool thing.
You're not alone in thinking so, because they do this every Saturday and Sunday night. They are sold out from now until the end of August. And they're only doing 2 different movies right now. One, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Can't say I've seen that.
When are they eating? I have. What are they eating in that movie?
Let me see.
When are they even eating?
In that movie, let's see if I can see something about the menu.
Like, I know there's a lot of scenes like in like the dining hall or whatever, but at the same time,
yeah, I don't
food?
know. I really can't tell you, because I see here that there is. I'm looking. There's an iconic scene apparently from the movie.
Maybe there
where
is.
there's a big banquet and whatever, but I don't know what they're eating. I've never seen it. And then after that, it makes total sense. Ratatouille.
That one is. That's the first one I thought of.
They've got a whole month of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. You can go any weekend. Though you can't now because it's sold out. And then another whole month of Ratatouille, which obviously makes a ton of sense. Can you think of any other movies that jump to mind that you might want to be not just watch the movie, but eat from the movie?
How about this one?
Okay.
Lady and the Tramp.
Perfect.
We're talking about spaghetti,
Uh-huh.
right?
Do you think there's something special about the spaghetti in that movie, though?
Of the Lady and the Tramp spaghetti?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a pretty iconic scene. Everybody knows what I'm
It is
talking
an
about, and
iconic
all I have to
scene,
say was the
yeah.
movie.
Uh-huh.
You know exactly what the scene is, the dog's kiss and everything, maybe go on a
Yep.
date night. You know how that goes.
That would be nice. What about this one? Another Disney movie. Beauty and the Beast. Be our
Lost.
guest. You know they were serving up some good food there.
Oh, yeah.
You know that whatever Belle was eating, that was
Uh-huh.
tasty stuff. I've got some more. There's actually a surprising amount.
yeah.
This is actually a really great idea because there's a Elf.
Oh, the spaghetti with maple syrup.
Spaghetti and maple syrup. That'd
Got
be might be a tough sell to get everybody on board of eating that, but it's definitely iconic. This is a good one too. I love this. Pulp Fiction. You ever seen it?
Never seen it.
The Big Kahuna Burger. Yeah, I think that'd be fun to eat. You got any others in mind?
What about Super Size Me? McDonald's.
That one you can do at home. That one and The Founder as well.
Yeah, The Founder. You can do both of those at home.
Another one. Here's two more. That just any movie with Italians in it, they always wind up having a big feast. Makes sense, including you probably haven't seen this, Big Night, starring Stanley Tucci and Tony Shalhoub from the 80s, and then also The Godfather. Some great food seems to appear in that movie. So a lot of great ideas. Actually, I mean, the possibilities are nearly endless. There's food in just about every movie when you think about it.
Give me like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I'll just sit there and eat chocolate. It sounds good to me.
Yeah, but you might not leave.
Yeah, exactly.
If that gets too accurate. I think it's a great idea. I need to see this branching out. I love this. Or just maybe a fun date night idea for you and your sweetheart to do at home.
Oh, a little at home date.
Yeah.
You watch Lady and the Tramp, you make some spaghetti.
Yep.
Sounds
Just
perfect.
Make it a whole theme.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
What is something completely crazy and unnecessary that you would buy? Clearly, there's a bunch of stuff that I might buy a new house, I buy a new car, I'd buy like all this stuff. Yeah, but no, what's something that is not helpful in any, like, that you really don't need? Something crazy. Something like, let's see, what would my first answer be? Some like wild pet.
Oh, like a chimpanzee. Maybe a tiger.
Or a falcon.
A squirrel? That's not wild
squirrel?
enough.
No, that's not.
Doesn't feel good enough.
Yeah, you could just catch one of those.
Yeah, exactly. You want something wild like a kangaroo.
Yes, kangaroo. That's
what we're looking for.
the first thing that jumps to mind. Nobody needs a kangaroo. You really probably
Can't do anything with it.
You shouldn't have. It won't actually really improve your life. But if you're rich, you got to spend that money on something. Might as well be a kangaroo. I love the choice of a kangaroo.
So is that your answer, or do you have many answers?
I think I could come up with more answers.
I've got a couple answers.
Okay.
I'll start off with my first one. What about a moat?
Oh,
What do you think about a moat? I mean, think about like every kingdom, prince, king movie you ever seen when they're super rich.
Yeah.
Like they've got a moat.
Would
like
you
back
fill
in
it?
the day?
What would you put in it?
I mean, water.
No, but I mean, like
You
a
think
lot of
like
people-
alligators or something?
alligators, something
See,
of that nature.
I don't want the
Piranhas.
alligators around. Like, I'm not trying to
Too
kill
close to
people.
you,
It's
yeah.
more of just a flex, kind of like it is in all like the movies and
Yeah.
stuff. Like I just want a moat. I think moats are sick.
Lots of people these days are so worried about security. They're putting in ADT and Nest and whatever.
When did we get away from moats?
Yeah.
It's a tested time.
Yeah, I think more effective.
Way more effective. A moat?
I love
If
that
I put my
idea.
drawbridge up,
But excuse
how
me.
are you getting to my house?
Excuse me. We're talking unnecessary things.
True.
We're talking things that don't help. And you've convinced me that
A moat is a good choice.
I'm going to start digging when I get home.
Yeah, a moat, you're right. It's not unnecessary. It does serve a purpose.
But it
protects the home, my family, my children,
Yeah. It would,
my dog, whatever I have in there, whatever else I have, my chef that I'll probably have too. Like all the things that I would have.
It would just be so cool to have like anybody that comes over you have to do the drawbridge to let them in.
Yeah, they have to like text me and be like, "Yo, can you drop the drawbridge?" I'm like, "Yeah, give me a second."
Yeah,
Here's the code.
That is a great choice. I was thinking maybe along those lines. I don't know if this qualifies as completely unnecessary, but what about treehouse?
Yep. I thought about that one too. I did consider treehouse.
I don't know if that'd be my first home, but to have.
Oh, it wouldn't be your home. It'd be like in the backyard.
No,
right?
yeah, maybe, but I think just having a tree house that would be like, a lot of people you can go now and stay like they're in Airbnbs and stuff. These tree houses, there's like shows on Travel Channel about them. I think it'd be fun to have one.
You're thinking like multiple like houses connected, maybe rooms. They're like in the trees.
Yeah, with bridges between the trees.
The bridges, yeah.
I think that would be a lot of fun. So
yeah, that makes sense.
There's a few starter ideas for you. Text in your idea of a completely unnecessary thing you would buy if you were rich. 8772 RadioU. We'll check in on what people are saying coming up next.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
If you were filthy rich one day, what is something ridiculous and unnecessary that you would buy? Forget about all the standard stuff. What's something wild you'd go with? Isaiah brought up a great one. He said moat. I also thought that I would want some kind of exotic pet, like a falcon or a kangaroo. Jeremy texted in on that same note. He says cheetah.
That's a good choice.
I think cheetahs would be a great pet because they're the kind of cat, like they wouldn't hunt you.
And like if you had them at your house and you had like a big plot of land, that could be an entertaining thing for you and your friends. Like look how fast my cheetah can run.
Go ahead, try to race it.
Exactly.
See how you do. So that's a great choice. Some other good texts coming in. Arthur says that he would buy 6 Hummers, the biggest ones they make. One for every color of the rainbow.
Now that's aggressive.
Just whichever one you're feeling that day is the one you roll out. That's a good one. Let's see. I like Raul, who texted in and said, I'd buy all the avocado farms in the world to disrupt the supply simply because he hates avocados.
That's a good answer.
It's good.
That's what we're looking for.
That is unnecessary completely. It's also... That's a supervillain plot from a movie. Plot. It's just you're a very non-threatening supervillain where the superheroes have to decide, is this even worth it?
Because I despise avocado?
Yeah.
What a wild thought.
That is a great choice.
He was driving and that came to his mind. That's what's crazy to me.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
It's like he's thought about that before.
Yeah.
That which brings me to one I thought of. How about the PGA Golf Tour?
You'd buy it?
I'd just buy it and kick out all the live golf players.
No.
They don't deserve.
You're not kicking out Phil.
They don't deserve it.
It's ridiculous.
They don't deserve what they're getting. I also don't care that much about golf, but if I had a bunch of money, why not? You got any more?
Yeah, the other one that I thought of, if I had a house, which I don't, but if I had a house, my little dream scenario here.
If you're rich.
If I'm rich, I've got a house.
I'm sure you've got a house.
I'd probably, because you know what's great about like having a house, you get real used to it. What I would probably do is tear down my house and rebuild the exact same one, just every room like 2 feet wider. Because if you wanted a little more room, like everybody wants just like a little bit more room, and so it would be just enough to make my house different, but the same.
That would be. Why don't rich people do that? Just like instead of buying a new house, they just constantly like once a year.
They're like 1 more foot.
Rebuild their house.
Give me a little bit more room, just a little bit more room. Tim said if he was ridiculously rich, a roller coaster in his backyard. We had Abby say the most ridiculously overpriced resale concert tickets and band merch. Absolutely.
I get that.
Jonathan said a game system in every game that was ever made for it, and a 2-year cruise to every continent.
Yeah. Oh, the vacations you'd take if you were filthy rich. That'd be unbelievable.
It wouldn't even be unnecessary. I mean, that's just, you have to do that. If you were filthy rich and you didn't, I would hate you. Now,
here's a good one. Here's another one I just thought of. Submarine.
Ooh, a sub.
How cool would it be to have a submarine?
Maybe like a little...
You just can't... That's just something you can't do as an average everyday person.
Is you go on in a submarine.
Yeah. Think about all the things you could see that no normal person would see.
Dang, think about all the people that would want to be your friend.
And the privacy, too. The privacy.
Like if you just had some of your friends and you were like, yeah, let's do like a cracker night down there. A board game night on my submarine. Like all the fake people that would want to be your friends. That would be so awesome.
Yeah.
But also, I wouldn't even want them to hang out with me.
Did I miss this one? Tim said a roller coaster in his own backyard.
I said that one, yeah. D said a house with a library, theater, commercial kitchen, and a horse.
A horse.
Add the horse on top.
Yeah. Not bad choices.
I mean, everybody's going with you're getting like a chef and you're doing all that stuff.
Yeah, I think again, the personal chef.
That's all built in.
Basically, butlers. That's
a
standard.
masseuse. Yeah. All those things. We know you're getting those.
Yeah. Wow. This is a lot to think about. These are goals, is what this is.
It's wild that I'm just going to go on living my everyday life.
Yeah, we won't.
I'm never going to have a moat.
We'll never get a single one of these things.
Yeah.
No matter how much we put our minds to it.
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.